in Yemen. Congressman Brad Wenstrup is here now. We shouldn't be surprised, should we, that we release a suspected terrorist or a known terrorist and he ends up fighting against us. It just points out how awful this deal was.
Yeah, sadly, we're finding out that this is the case. And keep in mind that all 5 of these people were on the list of too dangerous to be released. And now we're seeing exactly why. And unfortunately, this is a situation we have to deal with, along with many others that have taken place. And the committee's report, I think, was very definitive in how the American people were misled and how the law was broken.
Yeah, you're talking about the House Armed Services Committee report that basically says the Obama administration completely bypassed Congress to cut this deal. And it is the opinion of the report that that was illegal.
That's exactly right. The National Defense Authorization Act signed by the President said that Congress just has to be informed about 30 days before any type of release such as that or any type of transfer, and we were not. The evidence shows that they were working on this for more than 100 days before it actually happened. We were never informed. Right. The prisoners themselves knew 2 days before it happened.
Right. Congressman, you know, in 2009, it was 1 out of 7 estimates of the Gitmo releases were returning to the terrorist fight. Now it's nearly, 30% of them, 1 out of 3.
Right.
So what is the next step in this fight with trying to stop the recidivist terrorists from being released from Gitmo? What do you do next?
Well, we've been trying to do that as much as we can from Congress. And, for example, we don't even want them to be transferred to the United States because of the threat that that may pose and the attempts to try and release them if they're moved to the United States. The American people have to speak up with us. The President has to adhere to the law and inform Congress. And in this case, we were terribly misled. But I think people are beginning to understand and see the danger of going through this program where people are back in the fight. And if you served in, like I did in Iraq, it's terribly alarming to think that the people that killed some of your brothers and sisters are back out there in the fight when we had them in our hands.
Congressman, let me just say that the Obama administration, in response to the committee report concluded, was that, well, they had to sidestep procedure because they were concerned about for the life of Bergdahl himself, who was being held prisoner. What do you say to that?
Well, I don't believe that to be true. One of the things that they said to us at the time, too, is that they were terribly concerned about his health and that opinion came from a doctor at the Department of State. There's nothing in this that shows that they were investigating his current health status. There was nothing in this that said we ever reached out to the other side and said, how are you taking care of our soldier? You know, in our own military, we do a compassionate release. I served at Abu Ghraib prison. We had detainees, if they were fatally ill, we released them compassionately. If they were no longer a threat to us, we released them. Did we ask for that? Or did we ask for any type of medical report? It didn't seem that we were really interested in Sergeant Bergdahl as much as getting rid of the Taliban 5 from Guantanamo.
All right. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Thank you.